It was a crazy thing to do.
Yeah, it was beyond a leap of faith. I don't think we realized that we were leaping.
If we knew what we were getting into,
Never
I'm sure
would've.
we never would have done it. People don't start synagogues in Manhattan in the
In the
21st century.
The home base for the microphones is on the sound table.
You know, we've worked together for so many years in theater and in performance and putting on cabaret shows and as folk singers way back. And we'd basically put a mailing list together, we'd get a venue, we'd put a show together. And
Holly would create the graphics.
Ellen would stand up and sing. I had a 4-year-old and thought that, you know, she should go to Hebrew school. And when we started looking around for a synagogue, we couldn't find anything that really made sense. So I just casually said to Ellen, how hard do you think it would be to start something? And she said, I don't know, you know, maybe we could do that. That could be really cool. We could make it the way we would want it. And we could get artists and musicians, and maybe we could create something really great.
And the name, in a way, coalesced all of our dreams. We wanted something that was radical, but radical means back to the roots, so it had to be very old and very new. We came up, I don't even remember how, with the new Shul. And that just crystallized it. How do you say kismet in Hebrew? That was Basher. That was Finding Niles.
You created it, you formed it, you breathed it.
I got 2 separate calls connecting Niles to us. And then I had a long conversation, and we just seemed to be so much in sync. And I went back to the group and I said, I think we found our rabbi.
I think when you walk into the new shul, let's take a service for example, you will immediately feel the Talmudic principle of Ba'asher Husham, meeting people where they are. Shabbat Shalom. And Bruchim Haba. So we are a community that welcomes everybody. Whether you're in jeans and a t-shirt or whether you're an atheist, you'll know right off the bat that you are welcome and we want you. And we encourage searching and seeking and questioning. That's very much a fabric of who we are and what we want to be. Some of the things that we've done over the last decade that I think have been so amazing have been wonderful, multifaceted, intergenerational, and interactive holiday events, like the Sukkot rain dance.
We used the entire community, from our littlest kids to our oldest members. Everybody was a part of it, and it was magical.
I mean, we turned it basically into environmental theater.
Yeah.
And the rain dance became, I think, a very sort of defining event at the beginning of the new shul. People walked into
The ancient temple?
And the experience that our ancestors experienced thousands of years ago, that we did in a way that I don't think anybody else has done since the original time.
Have done Hanukkah in Washington Square Park, where we've created an abstract light sculpture instead of a traditional Hanukkah menorah. Simchat Torah celebration, where we unravel the entire Torah, and at the end the kids play a little game with me called Stump the Rabbi. We have had Purim extravaganzas, where people dress in drag, where I, as a black belt, play Haman and stage a choreographed fight scene before I get killed at the end of the story. We are going to briefly just say Kiddush. We've done events at bars on Hudson Street. We've gone on peace marches and demonstrations to Washington, D.C. to protest policies related to Darfur. I want to welcome all of you to our 3rd annual retreat. We have worshiped in nature on mountaintops in Connecticut during retreats. We've studied Torah in the middle of the forests. And we've gone out on those same retreats and practiced Hasidic rituals of self-empowerment. So I think we've done a lot of very innovative, out-of-the-box, and yet traditional events over the years that I think have really made us a community that has a reputation much bigger than its size.
The very first time I knew we were a shul, I think, I suspected it. We felt like something was happening, but it was the first high holidays. When I saw all those faces just before the beginning of Kol Nidre, and the faces are just indescribable, that was when I knew we were a community.
The thing that really got me, I think, was the first bar mitzvah.
Please rise.
All of a sudden you realize what you've done. I mean, here were these kids coming of age, and we were the ones who were facilitating that and welcoming them into a Jewish community that was unlike any other.
The New Shul Bar and Bat Mitzvah program is essential to the New Shul community. It's the core of who we are. And each and every one, we've had over 118 Bar and Bat Mitzvahs, the child has transformed. I have watched them truly accept this commandment of becoming an adult and becoming the newest member of the New Shul community. And our goal then is to keep them connected, to find ways to engage them and let them know that we need them just as much as they need us. When the New Shul first started, we thought if we could teach these children a living language, that Judaism would come alive to them, through culture, through food. Then, for the Bible stories and for history, instead of just having it book-based, we made it project-based. So they were putting on plays. They were taking biblical characters and nominating them for Emmy Awards. And they were able to connect to Judaism in a great way. And what I found happened is the children were schlepping their parents to shul. The children are schlepping them to the class dinner, and then parents were connecting to Judaism through them.
You know, in a way, you're serving as a role model for everybody else here.
After their bar and bat mitzvah, they are now enrolled in 2 programs. The first is Rap with the Rabbis. That's hanging out with the rabbis, having current Jewish topics.
Who were the Jewish victims? Jews? Who?
And then there's also a program that grew out of it, which is the Holocaust Social Action Program. And the concept of that was to try to connect our kids to Holocaust survivors. And that's brought these teens together in a special way that I never thought we would be able to do. They come on their own and have been able to stay connected.
We're at an interesting point in the life of this community. It's 10 years, and we've certainly become something very real, as opposed to something very dreamlike.
It's just what I would have said.
Of course. So I think that the original vision of this was that it would be a really living, breathing community that evolved and changed as we evolved and changed, and that it would reflect the people who were the members of the community. And so what that really requires of us is that we constantly keep on reevaluating, reassessing, and reimagining what we want to be going forward. And that's, it's a tall order.
I think what the New Shul does is find a way to make Judaism relevant, important, valuable for the members of the community in ways that is daring and challenging. It is a community that wants to find a real sense of what our faith is, what our tradition is, and who God is. People will come to know and worship. The New Shul community wants to embrace the spirituality. They want to get at it. They don't want to be passive. And it's that active Judaism that I think is going to be the source of the innovation to come.
Originally, when we first started this, I know what was on most of our minds, the original core was our kids' bar and bat mitzvahs. And as the years have gone by, our kids are now growing up and they're going off to college, and hopefully, not too soon, but hopefully we'll be having weddings. So now what I think about is I want to make sure that the New Shul is still around for
So we can dance at these weddings.
At the weddings of these kids who we've watched grow up, and then I guess they'll have kids, and hopefully those kids will have bar and bat mitzvahs, so one day we'll be at our grandchildren's simchas.
Alavai.
Incredible thought.
Si della dumma la dumma la dumma della negatiza.